Hi guys, it's Kenzie. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm gonna get straight to the point of this video today. A little over a year ago, I made a video on my channel about how to make a pallet bed, and it's that I'm sitting on right now. This is by far my most popular video, and to this day I still get every single week tons and tons of comments and questions on that video about how I made my pallet bed, how it's holding up, where do I get my pallets, how can I get pallets for free, tons and tons of questions. So I thought I would make this video a little over a year later about how I've enjoyed my pallet bed. I'll walk you through how I made it and kind of the perks and the downsides of having a pallet bed, just how it's held up for me, how I enjoy it, and what you might want to consider before you make a pallet bed. Off by saying that my pallet bed was extremely affordable. That is one of my favorite things about this bed. It is way more affordable and sustainable than a regular bed. You're using recycled materials in most cases, and I just love that it was literally so cheap to make, but it is so cute. I know it's not everyone's style, but I was obsessed with these beds on Pinterest. My room decor board was going crazy. So let's talk about how I got my pallets. So I personally found an ad on Craigslist. I looked up pallets for sale, free pallets, and I got all of my pallets. I used 8 pallets, and it was around $50 for all of my pallets. So that is how I got my pallets. But there are different ways to get them. You can get pallets for free a lot of the times. You can look up free pallets. A lot of people who have shipments come in with maybe like couches or refrigerators, those things will come on pallets, and then they just have these big wooden pallets that they don't want to use. So definitely look around a little bit. I thought this was a good option because these pallets looked great. And that's another thing you want to take in consideration. What is the condition of these pallets? And a lot of stores like Home Depot, Lowe's, big like what's the word, like industrial stores, not industrial but like building stores, a lot of those types of stores just have tons of pallets, and you can ask the workers if you can take their pallets. And like the workers at the store, if you ask the manager, hey, do you guys have any extra pallets? I checked Home Depot and they didn't have any extra, but you can check stores like that. And also behind businesses, like behind CVS, just any like big chain business, over by the dumpster, this is kind of sketch, but over by the dumpster there's usually stacks of pallets. I almost got pallets from behind CVS, but these ones off Craigslist looked a little cleaner, so I went and I spent a little bit more money instead of getting them for free. But behind businesses you can get free pallets. You can ask businesses for their pallets. You probably want to ask them before you just go to their dumpster and take them. Or you can look on Craigslist, any like neighborhood selling site. I know a lot of neighborhoods have like Facebook selling marketplace type things, so you can look at that. There's tons of different resources, but overall they're gonna be very cheap and way cheaper than a bed, because a bed can cost hundreds of dollars, and to get all these pallets for $50, that was an extremely good deal. I'm not gonna dive too deep in how I actually built the bed and like cleaned the pallets and everything, because that's all in my other video. So if you want to check my other video, I go into detail on how I cleaned them, sand them, wash them off, took nails off. All of that is in my other video, and I will link that below, but I'll just go through quickly. I made sure to spray them off, sand them, remove any excess nails. Anything that's going to be dangerous for your home or for you, you definitely want off your pallets. And it's extremely important to at least clean them, because pallets can have bugs on them. They're not necessarily like a clean brand new wood material, and the last thing you want is like termites or something. So I really made sure I sprayed them off, I sanded them, I left them out in my driveway for a few days, and I just repeated those steps to make sure they were clean and they were okay to go in my room. Sanding them is a huge thing also, because you don't want rough wood in your house, especially if you have like wooden floors. Definitely put like carpet or something underneath, because you don't want anything scratching. I personally have carpet, but I still don't want to scratch my skin on rough wood, so really just sand your palettes like crazy. I'm gonna give you a little update on how I've enjoyed it. So personally, I have loved my palette bed. One thing that I really like about it is the extra storage space, and it's in a really cute manner. I'll have some B-roll clips so you can see while I'm talking, but you can put tons of things on the outskirts of your palettes. Personally, I have it's a New England size bed, so it's kind of, oh my gosh, like 5 crows just flew in front of my window. That scared me. My bed is between the size of a full and a queen. It's kind of a weird size, but I used 8 palettes and I have a lot of extra room in the front, which I like. Depending on your size of bed, if you have a twin, you probably only need 4 palettes, and there's different arrangements you can put your palettes in. If you want to check out my Pinterest board, it's Kenzie Pay. I have tons of different like formats for palette beds laid out, and I'll link that below. But I love the extra storage space. I just think that is an amazing feature of the palette bed, and it's so cute. So that's something that I just really enjoy. One downside about having a palette bed is if you have little items on your palette, they always fall in the cracks, and I always have to go in and try to get them out of the cracks, so that's kind of annoying, but it's not like I think the pros outweigh the cons. I've had one palette crack, one back there, but I don't think it was because of the weight in the bed. I was kind of messing around one day and like walking on them, and one of my palettes did crack back there, so I'm wanting to replace that one. I have not had the chance yet, but that's another thing. Just when you're searching for palettes, you're gonna want to check the sturdiness of them. And also, I don't know if I mentioned this, palettes come in different sizes. I'll put the measurements of my palettes on the screen. I can't remember my exact measurements. I honestly have loved the bed. I've had no bug problems. I really like it, and like I said, not everyone's style, but hopefully that answered your guys' questions that you've been having on my other video. And if you have any more questions, comment them down below and I'll try to respond to all of them, or as many as I can. But that is my palette bed. I really still love it. Thank you guys so much for watching my video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!